This is Solicitor Cho's public service announcement number 2. It's on family law, and it's on a question of whether or not you should get married or stay in a cohabiting relationship. Now, it starts with a disclaimer that I'm not a family law specialist, so this isn't really my usual area of practice, but I thought that you could do with this information that I've learned in a conversation with my family law specialist colleague. So the major difference between being in a married relationship and a cohabiting relationship seems to be the division of assets on breakup or on divorce if you're married. So the question of what do you get after you divorce or after you break up. Now, the usual principle for married couple is that all assets and wealth that were accumulated during your marriage is divisible equally between the two spouses. So the English courts would start off on this asset division journey from the principle of 50-50 split. And then, of course, the lawyers get involved and you could argue for a larger chunk of that if your contribution towards the wealth accumulation or the property accumulation is made out. Now, this next point might be particularly pertinent to, it may be women or it may be one of the partners of the two who stays at home and decides to do the unpaid labour of having children and raising them instead of going out there in society and earning cash for the household, which pays for things. So traditionally this is there is a division of role between men and women, and we see a lot more women staying at home raising the children, possibly because of the biological capability of having babies and getting pregnant and raising them afterwards. Now, if you are in that situation, you're a woman who has given up your work, your paid work in society, and you are staying at home, not earning cash, but you are putting in this unpaid labor. It's unpaid as in no one pays you for it, no one pays you cash for it. But in the meantime, someone in the house has to earn money, and this happens to be your husband or the other counterpart. Now, you are in that sense not making any financial contribution to the household, but in a marriage, you are sort of protected in that any wealth that has been accumulated in your marriage relationship is going to be considered part your contribution, and this is probably a more palatable way of thinking about your contribution to the family of creating, managing and raising your family. Unfortunately, for an unmarried couple, that principle of 50-50 contribution and division doesn't apply. So on separation, if you were to discuss division of assets, then only those items like property, bank account, joint account cash, or car ownership on which your name appears as a joint owner, would you be entitled to them. There is no principle of what's mine is yours, dear, so why don't you stay home and make a home and raise children. Well, as far as I can see, if you're an unmarried partner and you did that, and you had nothing to your name in that relationship, then on separation, you would get nothing, except for the potential generosity of your now ex-partner, who may or may not decide to divide assets with you. So that is one major blow. The other, slightly lesser blow, I suppose, is the entitlement to spousal maintenance. So if you had been a spouse in a married relationship and you divorce, then you are entitled to a spousal maintenance, much like children are entitled to child maintenance for their upbringing and the expenses related to that. So if you're in an unmarried relationship, then I'm afraid that doesn't apply as far as I know. Now, what I'm saying here is just a little revelation that and little information that I would like to share, but it's not intended to be legal advice from me, certainly not from me who doesn't practice family law, but I'm sure you could let this serve as a reminder to talk to your family lawyer if you like, and take further advice on your situation if necessary. And so that was it.